Rating comments is not supported for Facebook channels. So is this going to not show me comments again, or is it not going to... I don't know. Okay.
Just something amazing.
You got 5 seconds because I just started.
On Crunchyroll, when you can put in info like about you on your account, they have a section where you can put in your Eastern zodiac sign and your Western zodiac sign.
Okay, I'm live.
Okay.
Here. Can you ice water me?
Yuri, can you close stuff?
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to transfer over to the...
Bro. You're quiet now. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna eat the children tonight. Okay, can you mute that? I really don't need to hear myself on a 10-second delay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's create a continuous feedback loop.
No.
Why don't you be quiet while I'm streaming? It's a thought. Just a thought. Okay. Woo, you're wobbly. Sorry. I know people hate that. I never got the whole shaky cam thing myself, but I know a lot of people like really hate it. So I'm gonna do my best to keep this all in frame because this litho stone is freaking huge. It's the biggest one I own. And I don't know how wobbly this is gonna be while I'm trying to transfer. So I'm trying a mostly new to me technique. I've got my little weirdo looking dollies there. And I am going to use acetone. They've been printed out of my laser printer. And I'm going to try using acetone to transfer them. I love how Twitch sends you notifications when you're trying to stream. Like, that's great, buddy. Okay, I'll get right on managing my dashboard digitally while I'm in the middle of a freaking video. The hell was I talking about? Social media manager Jay is here.
Hey, I am currently on Facebook and on Twitch.
Can you?
Do you have a tab open for?
I don't. Periscope is the forgotten lands. Like, I can see the Periscope comments if any come in.
That's just for both.
I have no desire. Well, it's going away in like a month. Like, I don't know how you're going to stream to Twitch or to Twitter anymore. But Periscope is going away. So, can you share that to my personal Facebook on public? Okay, nope, you see, nope, down, nope. You don't know how to Facebook anymore.
Nope.
Okay. Nope, next to that, click that little button. Now click on my name. Now share it. Now click the share.
Okay, share. Share now.
More options.
More options.
Share to newsfeed.
Share to newsfeed.
And then just where it says acquaintances, select public.
And I'm going to select public.
Okay, now click post.
And I'm clicking post.
Now, when it's done, you can click on that little profile picture again.
And set it back.
Back to the Naughty Printmaker. Okay.
There we go.
Woohoo! It only took us 3.5 minutes to get through. Ah, my lamp is falling over. Stop it. Okay. So, yes, like I was saying, I did this once in college, and it didn't work out so great. So I'm going to transfer it with the mentality that it's going to be kind of like when I transfer a sketch to like good paper before I paint or before I do like a final drawing on it, is I'm not going to plan on trying to etch exactly what transfers. I'm just going to go and like use it as a base to draw on top of, and then probably etch this bad boy tomorrow, maybe even try to test print it tomorrow. So that is my plans. Social media manager Jay, I presume, has the politics end like ready to go, or if he doesn't, I don't know what the fuck he's been doing over there.
It's all awful.
Well, everything, yeah.
Everything
yeah, it's all awful.
Pretty unequivocally awful.
I'm about to make it more awful around here because I'm going to open up the acetone. I hope nobody in my family wanted to breathe for the next like 20 minutes.
That's good. I'm going to wish myself a flu hood right now.
It's just acetone. It's like the least toxic of the toxic chemicals that I deal with.
Like, weird about 2 weeks out from the attempted insurrection.
Yes. How is everybody's Civil War going?
Right. And apparently we should be anticipating a whole clusterfuck the next 2 days. 3 days? 3 days? Today's, 2 days, 19th and 20th. Although probably more stuff after that because, yeah.
But at least the Cheetos getting tossed on Wednesday, so that's good. Oh, that's actually transferring nice. And I haven't even used my burn yet.
I've been saying this for years. I bet that if given enough time, he is going to find himself in Russia and he is going to insist that he is president in exile. I've been saying that since within like a year of him getting elected, and I maintain that's still going to be what happens.
Really? You think he's going to run to Russia and pretend to be the president still?
Only he's going to do it the Cheeto way, which means, I mean... it's going to be kind of mess. Everybody's going to sort of look over awkwardly and try to pretend that he's not there.
Isn't that what we do now?
Yeah. I mean, once he doesn't hit... Well, he's already had his megaphone script from him.
Which one? Isn't he banned from everything right now?
I think that, yeah, he's banned from everything, and Parler has effectively banned itself by not actually, like, trying to be abusive service.
Although if there's anybody that's watching that has a Parler, there's actually a trick to getting it back. You have to uninstall it from your phone, and then you can reinstall it. And then it works again.
Let's see. So I'm going to pick off the top 5 headlines that we got in our new right now, or our politics new right now, and see if there's anything good. We've got Donald Trump lifts COVID-19 travel restrictions in Europe, UK, Ireland, and Brazil. That is from a Fox source. So, yeah. Trump lifts COVID travel restrictions. That's the second one, so it's the same deal. Capitol rioters say Trump told them to do it, which some legal experts say could open him to criminal charges. That's from
good.
Business Insider.
Good.
Let's see. Outlook darkens for Wall Street as Biden's regulators take shape. That's from Reuters. So, although I've been getting very, like, trying to use Wall Street to dictate one way or the other. Like how this is going. Like, there have been some very mixed vibes. Like, just wait 3 or 4 days and you'll get a different quote-unquote outlook from Wall Street in regards to the Biden presidency. I think that
It's almost like Wall Street isn't actually representative of real life or something.
Yeah, right. And let's see, I've been hearing something, let's see, McConnell, Schumer near deal for power sharing agreement in evenly divided Senate, which is something I've been hearing. Which, I mean, like, I swear, the Republicans are going to try to bring back the greatest hits of 2015, and there's a whole portion of the population that doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And the left and the right. I mean, because then you got friggin' Boebert.
Yeah, see, this transfer is wild. That's why I didn't want to, like, rely on it. Although that would make a really awesome print, but let me see if I can get... Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's because I kind of spilled this on there, and it diffused some of the toner. So I don't have the full... But we're going to try. Okay, what were you talking about, Mr. Jim Boner?
Oh, Boebert.
Oh, I thought you were being funny about how you're saying Jim Boehner's name.
No, like, what's her name? QAnon lady.
Is this the one that, like, was quoting Hitler, or is that are those two different crazy ladies?
I mean, no, I think that was Marjorie Greene. He had the Hitler quote? Although
Okay.
Gilbert might have. I mean, she is, God, give me 1 second. Because now I'm confusing the two, because they both are relatively new.
I confuse them all the
Congress.
time.
And
So that wasn't such a bad transfer. Like, this is actually thick enough, at least on this side, that I feel like I could etch this. And get something at least. Like, damn. That's not too bad. And I realized as I was cleaning the stone and getting ready to go live tonight that I don't actually know if I finished prepping the stone properly. Like, it felt a little rough. Like, I didn't, like, grind it down all the way. So that could be part of the issues, too. Val says that Bobert does tours.
Bobert is the one that was doing the tours. Also, just looking at some of the
Can you go
top
toss this in the
headlines
trash?
regarding her.
An ice water knife, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So she's trying to pull what Trump tried to pull, which is blocking people on her Twitter, claiming that it's her personal Twitter so she can block them, regardless of the fact that she's a public figure. I mean...
Wait. I'm confused.
Okay.
So she's blocking people on Twitter, and she's saying it's okay because it's her personal Twitter, but it's a public official Twitter account.
Okay.
I don't understand what's the, like, why do we care if they block people?
Well, because it's a matter of public record. Trump got in trouble for this because they're a public figure. Let me see if I can find something that's articulated a little better. Let's see. Former state rep Brianna Butello sued U.S. Rep. Lauren Boebert in federal court Sunday, alleging Colorado's controversial new congresswoman violated Butello's free speech rights by blocking her on Twitter following the storming of the U.S. Capitol. The lawsuit, which attorney David Lane said he filed in U.S. District Court in Denver, alleges Boebert blocked Butello, a constituent of Boebert's, who served in the state legislature as a Democrat from Pueblo, after Butello criticized the congresswoman's actions as seditious. This prevented Butello, who was defeated by Republican challenger Stephanie Luck in November, quote, from viewing her Twitter account, replying to her tweets, or otherwise engaging with those who interact within the replies to her tweets, unquote, according to the lawsuit. So, yeah, Trump got hit by something along these lines. The court ended up ruling against him, and it's kind of anticipated something very similar is going to happen in this case from what I've heard. The Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Manhattan ruled in 2019 that Trump violated the First Amendment whenever he blocked a critic to silence a viewpoint. The three-judge panel had concluded that the president's daily pronouncements and observations were overwhelmingly official in nature. So that's because of the nature of the tweets.
I guess I can get down with that if you're using, like if you go to, like, @POTUS, it's, like, flagged as a government account. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing, like, official tweeting, like, if... I'm trying to articulate this. Like, if I'm just... Even if I'm an elected official, if I'm just on my personal Twitter posting my personal bullshit, I feel like I should be able to block whoever I want. But if I use my personal Twitter to post, like, government stuff or to try to connect with constituents, then I can get behind... it's a First Amendment violation to block people that you don't like or block critics.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if somebody uses their work email for personal stuff or their personal email for work stuff, then things get a little messy, and I kind of look at it in the same context as that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, if...
Is this like an, oh my god, her emails moment? Because, like...
No, I wouldn't go quite that far. It's more a question of, like... It's more a question of, well, if you're going to go and communicate to your base through a personal account, because that's tied to your personal brand, then you have to deal with everything that's associated with that. I mean, a little bit of forethought would be to set up a separate Twitter account.
That's
just
what.
Make sure you
Yeah.
don't talk shop on your personal one.
That's what I was
all it would've
thinking.
taken. But of course, she didn't do that.
No, because she's dumb.
Yeah.
Because chuds are not the brightest bulbs in the box.
Let's see.
Did you kill Ian's stream or just mute it?
Oh, I just muted it.
Okay.
I think it's still running. Yeah, we got concrete reporting still running in the background here. Shout out to concrete reporting.
Yeah. He's gonna be. He's leaving for DC tonight. I think he said earlier on his stream. So, I'm sort of starting to favor live streamers over traditional mainstream media. So, if you want to watch the inauguration, I would watch it from. Well, he's not gonna be like at the inauguration, but he's gonna be in the area. Sorry, dear. I feel like I interrupted you.
No, you're good. No, I'm just looking through more of the head. Bobert has been in the news a lot.
Is she the one? Now, this might be the Hitler lady again that I'm thinking of. Is she the one that's like, I'm going to introduce articles of impeachment against Biden on Wednesday?
I think. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring that up because I don't. Like I said, I've been confusing the two. Apparently Twitter suspended Marjorie Greene outright.
Fuck around and find out.
And she's refusing to attend Joe Biden's inauguration. Yeah, I think she's the one. And I think that she's the one that says that she's going to introduce... blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene vows to file articles of impeachment against Biden. That's from Fox News. Yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty good feeling that's going to flub.
Yeah, well, like, what are you going to impeach him for before he's even, like, done anything as president? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, that's a...
Like, chuds like to scream, like, he's been trying to impeach Trump since he became president. But, like...
He's not president.
He's been corrupt for, like, ever. Like, plus, like, they actually brought the only articles of impeachment that went through are, like, legit shit. Like...
Well, I'm pretty sure they're just going to try to replay the oldies, you know? They're going to go and get their pitchforks and torches and show up at the castle screaming about Hunter Biden and the Ukraine and all this other happy horse shit.
Fun fact, Hunter Biden is actually not going to be president, guys. Just an FYI.
Well, that's it. And,
like, even if all the crazy conspiracy theory shit about Hunter Biden, you actually can't impeach Joe Biden for having a twat for his son. If that shit was all true, which I'm not going to stipulate to, but still wouldn't be grounds for impeaching Joe Biden, who actually will be the president. Just in case anybody's confused about how U.S. government works.
yeah. Oh, man. So I just refreshed and taking a quick glance over other stuff that's been added. Let's see. Trump and his pardons.
Oh, who's he pardoning now?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be everybody. You know, like,
Did you
everybody's
hear?
speculating.
I heard a thing about why he didn't resign. Because he didn't trust Mike Pence to give him a pardon. Like, that's, like, apparently that is, like, the main reason he didn't resign is that he thought Mike Pence wouldn't pardon him.
Well, then. I mean... Oh, man. All I gotta say is president in exile, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hop that plane over to Russia. I mean, I got mixed feelings about Snowden, but I think that's pretty much what, he's gonna try to pull, or at least claim that he's pulling. And he's gonna claim to be president in exile. And I'm pretty sure that Putin's just going to try to ignore him, but...
Do you think Russia will take them? Because Scotland won't.
Yeah, I think Russia will take
Like,
him.
Scotland told them, like, no, you can't come.
Because he's going to continue to be a destabilizing influence. Every time that he makes a noise in the news, there's going to be a portion of the American public that they're going to listen, regardless of what level of excrement it is. So, that's kind of where I'm coming from with it.
Social media manager Jay is a Russia gator. FYI. I don't know where I stand on that, but there's nothing wrong with airing biases while talking about the
No,
news.
that's true. I'm not offended by it. I mean, yes, Val, yes. Obviously, they are living in the Terran Empire.
Now I just got sad because there's no new Trek
Yeah.
this week. We got very spoiled by many weeks of new Trek.
Yep.
Now there is none, and I have a sorrow in my soul.
Disco is probably my favorite Trek series right now.
Really? I thought you were...
Yeah,
Beats out Lower Decks?
Lower Deck. Okay, it's close. It's real close. Lower Decks might win. Maybe it's just because I haven't seen Lower Decks as recently because they've been doing their end of season thing.
Maybe now that we have no new Trek to watch, we should watch Lower Decks.
Putin might take him for hunting. I don't know. I don't think that would be much of a challenge, but I'm not going to go any further than that. But oh man. Trump really isn't in shape.
No, he's not. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Oh man. Oh, this is interesting. What is this?
I mean, I'm not really one to talk. I'm not super in shape, and I've been getting, like, quarantine lazy as everything drags on. Quarantine lazier. Like, I can't do Zoom workout classes. I just need to actually be able to hit a bitch when I'm working out. That's not, like, really as criminal as it sounds. Krav is my workout of choice, but
Krav Maga.
I just need to be able to, like, punch actual physical things. Or hike, but it's fucking cold right now. I don't know if I like disco a lot, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I can call it my favorite right now. Like, I think Voyager will always be my favorite forever. And I think of new Trek, I think Lower Decks is my favorite. But that could just be based on the fact that, like, I really, really needed, like, a good sci-fi comedy show this year, so...
This is interesting. So I came across something interesting.
What'd you just find?
Reuters article. This is... I feel like this might be flying a little under the radar considering everything else going on, but maybe not. Maybe I've just been missing it. U.S. lawmakers aim to curtail face recognition even as the technology IDs capital attackers. So, it sounds like, let's see. It sounds like one of the other. Let me double check. It sounds like it's actually coming from.
They probably want to protect their friends from getting caught
That's
trying to overthrow the government.
This is actually coming from the Democrats, actually. Ed Markey.
That doesn't discount my statement.
And yes, but you know, like I can definitely get behind this. I mean, surveillance is becoming more and more of an issue in this country.
So,
I mean,
do you think it is? Or do you think this is a case of, like, kind of like gas prices, how we're just, like, sort of spoiled about it in this country? Like, Are we really becoming more of a surveillance state than, say, the United Kingdom?
Not more than the UK. I mean, it's definitely more of a slow roll. And frankly, you can't deploy cameras out into all the boondocks in this country. It's a lot easier to achieve density like they have in the UK just because of how much, I guess, denser the population centers are. You've got more people throughout the country. At least that's what I feel.
I don't know. I feel like you could just put them at traffic lights.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what they're doing right now. Like more and more, if you're going through the city, like you'll see like cameras set up.
Yeah, but like there's even one in Brewerton, so like you can do it in like the boonies traffic lights.
Yeah,
And I don't know if this is how much this is a thing in like other states or other countries, but like around upstate New York, a lot of times out in the country, a four-way stop will have a flashing light on it so that you can see better at night because we all drive like assholes at night up here.
Well, like it's definitely.
So you could throw cameras like on those too, on like the flashing reds.
But I mean, it would definitely take a concerted effort because you'd have to run the cable that would be able to support the bandwidth for it and everything else. I don't think.
Oh, that's true.
Wrong,
I didn't
but
think
I don't
about that.
think most traffic lights are networked. I think that even though most of them are computer controlled, there's a panel on the light itself. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know. I don't know that much about it.
We are more commercially than government driven. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. Especially in comparison to the UK, because law enforcement in the UK also has all sorts of special agreements to have access to a lot of these camera systems. I think that might be what Vale's getting at with that, or something tangentially related. But no, and I mean, ironically, like, I hate to say it, with the understanding that I don't like the idea of there being a more pervasive sense of surveillance than we have right now. If people are talking Blue Lives Matter, okay? If that isn't just, for all intents and purposes, a dog whistle, then why aren't they bringing up? I know it is, and this is part of why I know it is, because if that was really the major concern, then they should be talking about Second Amendment restrictions and increasing police surveillance. Because you can go. There are about 200 police officers that are killed in the line of duty every year in the United States. It's between 150 and 200, just about. And this was, it was from some law enforcement source, some fund that's set up for that. But in the UK, there's a single Wikipedia page with all the officers killed in the line of duty for like the last 100 years. They were able to fit them all in one Wikipedia page. So, there's a drastic difference there.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a real discussion. Like, that's a real debate. Like, how do we balance that out? Not this very cursory, like, her, how, like, this opposition to, like, Black Lives Matter than Blue Lives. No. It's just warping the discussion. It's taking what could be a real discussion over our priorities as a country and using it as a dog whistle, which is garbage.
I mean, I think a couple weeks ago at the Capitol, they pretty much showed that they don't really care about blue lives, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, they literally killed cops.
Yeah.
Like, when did Black Lives Matter do that all summer, is what I want to know. All summer long, when did Black Lives Matter kill cops? Like, the most we did was, like, make them feel bad about themselves. So, I would just like to say that the Blue Lives Matter people don't really seem to have a problem taking blue lives.
And I mean that's
That's just my observation,
no,
though.
well, it just drives me nuts because it's like, okay, like let's have a real discussion over what law enforcement's role is in our society, and what we need to do regarding keeping people safe, in general. Let's not just use this as like a garbage way of scoring political points and getting people worked up. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, and because, like, here's the deal. Like, even some ACAB people, even some fuck the police people, and even some, like, abolish the police people, like, will have this sort of either admission of needing law enforcement in society or a sort of cognitive dissonance that they kind of need to work out, because when you see the really hardline, like, ACAB people at, like, autonomous zones, like, at CHOP, like, at Red House, like, there's security there. There are guys there with guns to protect people. Like, they're cops. So it's kind of hard to ACAB and then to, like, have security and have, like, what are essentially police officers. Like, I think that's sort of the disconnect in the ACAB and abolish the police, is that it's really like a fundamental restructure of the police, something more in line with what they've got in other countries where the police weren't fucking slave patrols 100 years ago.
yeah. Oh man. So what else?
But all landlords are bastards, definitely. I'm not. Including my own landlord. I don't care. I like that he's a bastard, but, you know.
Let's see. Oh, the mysterious, something else in the last week. The mysterious vaccine reserves that weren't there.
Oh my god, this pissed me off so much when I heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, yeah, we're going to hold back half the vaccine so that you guys have all your second doses in 3 weeks. And now, lo and behold, they never held back anything, and they haven't been, like, buying more.
Yep.
Like, Oregon just didn't get vaccines the other day. And Cuomo wants to buy them directly from Pfizer now.
How can you, like, I hate to say it, but can you blame him? I mean, it's been so inconsistent. And, like, regardless of whatever Biden's got planned, that's going to take some time to spin up.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, what do people do?
Die, which is what they've been doing for like a year now.
Yeah, effectively.
So on a nerd end, one thing I'm noticing is that where I put down acetone, my stones kind of changed color a little bit, even where there shouldn't have been any toner deposited. And it seems almost a little bit water resistant in that spot. So I don't know what the acetone's doing to my stone chemistry. This will be interesting to try to etch tomorrow. I'll probably TikTok that because I like TikTok. TikTok's fun.
Okay, Zoomer.
I like That's a compliment. Calling me a Zoomer is a compliment.
I know. I was turning the okay boomer into okay Zoomer. Big time.
I've just been unofficially adopted by the Zoomers. This is the proudest moment of my life, actually.
Apparently Parler temporarily reappeared, sort of, kind of. Pretty much with a message saying, hey, we're trying to figure it out.
Where to host their shit, that they won't get kicked off. What happened? I thought they had hosting, though. I thought all kidding aside, I thought you could go to the website version.
Well, let me read this from 7 o'clock tonight on Reuters. Parler, a social media website and app popular with the American far right, has partially returned online with the help of a Russian-owned technology company.
Oh man, Russiagators' heads are about to fucking explode.
Now, Parler vanished from the internet when dropped by Amazon Inc.'s hosting arm and other partners for poor moderation after its users called for violence and posted videos glorifying the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. On Monday, Parler's website was reachable again, though only with a message from its chief executive saying he was working to restore functionality. The internet protocol address it used is owned by DDoS Guard, which is controlled by 2 Russian men and provides services including protection from distributed denial of service attacks. And infrastructure expert Ron Gilmet told Reuters. If the website is fully restored, Parler users would be able to see and post comments. Most users prefer the app, however, which remains banned from the official app link in Google stores. And I don't think that's ever going to change.
I don't think so either. And I'm not sure that all the chuds are smart enough to know how to install an app without it being in their store.
Well, now, right now they're talking to multiple... It seems like Parler's talking to multiple service providers. And... DDoS Guard, it's a history of working with racist right-wing conspiracy sites like
good.
ACON. Parler critics said it was a potential security risk for it to depend on a Russian company, as well as an odd choice for a site popular with self-described patriots.
Oh my god. Like, everybody's heads are gonna explode at the same time.
Yep.
The Russiagators' heads are gonna explode. The fucking people that think that Russia is still communists' heads are gonna explode.
Well, here's what I'm thinking is part of the problem with them finding hosting, right? I mean, first of all, there's the legal issue. Also, there's the public relations issue.
Mm.
From a technology issue, depending on how their infrastructure is set up, it's not like they can go and just set up an account on DreamHost or something and be good to go.
Yeah.
Probably they had some pretty substantial cloud infrastructure to keep them scalable. As they became more popular quickly, they probably decided, hey, let's port ourselves over to a cloud-based system, so when we have more people, we can just simply dial up how many of these containers, essentially virtual computers, that we're using. But the problem is that, frankly, that is not what you get when you go with like a DreamHost or a standard web hosting company.
Yeah.
That there are a number of clouds out there, but not nearly as many options. And Google and Amazon are the big ones right now. Google, Amazon, Microsoft Azure. There are a few other ones out there too. But my impression is none of them are going to want to take on that liability.
Probably not.
And with limited options, that kind of puts Parler in a corner.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they can even dial it back. Because if they've already had to expand from a traditional like hosting service to a more cloud-based infrastructure, I mean, those changes are made, and going backward isn't going to be able to support their current user base.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of screwed.
Oh, I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, right?
That's really...
I mean, I think that they're kind of stuck, because I don't, like, to be even able to spin up a service like that, like if they wanted to set up a right-wing cloud infrastructure, it takes a lot of money.
Yeah. So a really interesting art thing that's happening here. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but where the toner transferred when I'm going over it with my, what is this? With my 5 litho crayon, it's like adhering to the toner. So I actually feel like if I got a really good, like a really, really good transfer, that I could print just from the toner, like etch and print just from the toner. Which is something I might try a little later. Continue, dear. Sorry.
No, I mean, that was it. I think it's as much a technology issue as anything else. And I mean, cloud infrastructure is hard, and maintaining it is hard. Once you've got it up and running, it's more reliable. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they're getting stuck by. That they just finding somebody that's willing to take on the liability for hosting racists for all intents and purposes, and the potential PR fallout for that. Like, there aren't a ton of options out there.
And like, they're calling like crying censorship and shit, but like, don't you think that would tell you something if like nobody wants to host you or let you use their service? Like, shouldn't that tell you that like maybe you are not as mainstream? Like, maybe people don't agree with you as much as you think they do.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the Mercers aren't used to people saying no to them.
That's
at this
true.
point, and considering they're some of the major funders for it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in general, like, normal people, like the ones that were crying about getting kicked off the plane, like, maybe you're not just, like, all American as you thought you were. Just a thought.
Just a minor thing, right?
Yeah.
Might be something to consider.
Like, maybe you should take a look at yourself.
Have a self-reflective moment.
As much as they're capable of, at least.
Right. Oh, man. So let's see, what other fun times have we got going on? Oh, man.
Trump sold them under the... Oh, the vaccines? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Willing to bet a bunch of rich people have them.
I mean, he's got a fucking $400 million debt that's going to be coming due soon. And banks are cutting his ass off. Like...
Yeah.
Wait, why does he have a big old debt?
Because he's not good with money. And he's not as rich as he likes to pretend he is. And he's a shitty businessman. Like, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, Chuds. Trump is a shitty businessman. He's always been a shitty businessman. And he was a shitty business president. He sucks. Like, he's just not good, guys. Like, not even just like, oh, he sucks because I think he's a shit person. That's true, too. But he's just a shitty businessman. Like, how many times does he have to declare bankruptcy before y'all are going to realize that, like, this man does not know the first fucking thing about being in business?
When the single last chud on your stream clicks off.
I don't have any chuds on my stream.
No, they all clicked off when they saw you start.
No, I'm just not, like, popular enough to have chuds, but I aspire to have chuds someday.
So you can make fun of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Look it. Haha.
DJ, stop.
Oh, man. So have you heard anything about Pompeo?
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 No.
Pompey?
What about him?
Oh, I keep seeing articles coming up about how he's laying all these, like, traps and landmines and all this other stuff as Secretary of State as far as international relations are concerned. And I keep thinking to myself, I mean, that shit's burned to the ground. What are you gonna freaking do landmine-wise? And how is it completely unavoidable? Because internationally, it's like, oh, well,
you in a minute here.
you know, like...
Do we know who Biden's Secretary of State is yet?
Oh, let me get out the goggles. Survey says... Anthony Blinken.
Who the hell is that?
Well, let's find out.
Sounds like a Mel Brooks joke. Hey, Blinken.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Anthony Blinken served as Deputy National Security Advisor from 2013 to 2015, Deputy Secretary of State from 2015 to 2017.
Okay, so he's a Biden admin.
Yeah,
holdover.
He was. Let's see. Served in the State Department and senior positions in the National Security Council staff in the Clinton administration. So I mean, he's. It sounds like he's kind of a Democrat staple for this sort of thing, you know. But anything good and juicy about him? Something that'll make me shake my fist.
Other than the fact that he's a Democratic staple. Do you need anything more to shake your fist about? I need a thicker tush. The tush is too thin.
Partners. Yeah, I mean... Nothing super...
So Pompeo's...
It looks like he's pro-Turkey.
So Pompeo's just trying to, like, fuck his shit up before he gets in, or...
Yeah, well, I mean, let me... Oh, man, too many tabs. Okay, the craziest thing Mike Pompeo did this past week wasn't even touting links between Al-Qaeda and Iran. As President Donald Trump, this is from prospect.org, by the way, so...
I don't read them, I don't know
Yeah, I mean,
much about them.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about them either. Maybe I should find another source, but for now, they definitely seem left for that, what that's worth. As President Donald Trump rages his way out the door, his sabotage-minded Secretary of State has worked hard to ensure Biden's foreign policy options will be limited long after Trump is gone. Among the fires Pompeo set during a hectic week, enraging China, choking diplomacy with Cuba, and enacting policies that will escalate the already dire famine in war-torn Yemen.
Well, that's good.
Man.
So what is Pompeo having a, like, if I can't have it, nobody can moment?
Well, I mean, he was the same guy that insisted there was going to be a second Trump term.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Yeah, no nukes at least. That's a positive, you know. I mean, we managed to stave that off, thankfully, one more presidential term.
For now.
I mean, the fact that we aren't all glowworms right now is in itself a surprising turn of events.
Yet.
Yeah, right.
Give it time. Trump's still got tomorrow.
Well, until we figure out what to do with them, I mean, frankly, as long as those nukes exist, it's a liability.
Yeah.
I mean, deterrence is deterrence, and that's kind of what everybody's committed to at this point. I mean, I'm not sure that there is a better international option right now, but, man, I mean... Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, I'm still firmly in the camp to figure out a way to turn them into fuel and just use them as nuclear fuel. We already got them at least partially refined. Well, they'd have to be pretty well refined for them to be a nuclear weapon. So
Yeah.
Use them as fuel in something, you know. Figure out a way to re-engineer it so they're usable, and then start turning them into what effectively is carbon-free carbon-free power source, even if we have the shrink them all. But
my only concern if we turned the nuclear arsenal into a power source is that would make us more dependent and inclined towards nuclear energy.
yes.
And I just don't think that what we need are more nuclear power plants. Like, I don't know what to do with the nuclear arsenal. I'm not claiming to have any fucking answers. I just think that becoming an even more like nuclear energy style state would be a really bad idea. Why is my Tusche so thin tonight? What the fuck?
It's a real balance, right? Because, I mean, regardless, the fuel needs to go somewhere. It can't just sit in waste beds by the plants. I mean, what we're doing effectively is just burying it in mountains.
Yeah, no, and that's not a good idea either. Like I said, I don't know what is a good idea. I just feel like it would be a really bad idea for our country to become more, not that, like, I like coal either, but I think it would be a really, like, it just wouldn't be a good idea, I don't think, to become more nuclear energy dependent. I think we should be trying to come up with alternatives to both coal and nuclear, not just building more nuclear.
See,
I could be biased due to our proximity to a nuclear plant, though.
I have mixed feelings about nuclear because, like, well, you know, like, as sort of a side interest, like, various levels of nuclear disasters are just something that historically fascinates
What he's
me.
trying to say is he has a Chernobyl obsession.
Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island, and I've been following Fukushima pretty much since it happened years ago. And just where that's going.
But mostly Chernobyl.
The Kishtim disaster. Like
maybe I shouldn't.
What?
Maybe I shouldn't. I'm ad-libbing on the side here. Maybe I should stop insisting it's a mostly Chernobyl obsession, as he names off every nuclear disaster in human history.
Oh no, there are quite a few. Yeah, but at any rate, though, so yeah, there are definite problems with it. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. Like, we've already taken it and refined the uranium and turned it into plutonium or whatever they're using for the warheads and payloads, right? So, if that's the case, if we're going to have to do something with them eventually... But this is what
I'm saying. If we build a bunch more nuclear power plants so that we can use this already enriched uranium for nuclear power... What are we going to do when the supply dwindles? We're just going to make more. Because we're going to be more dependent on nuclear energy at that point.
I kind of look at it as a transition source that's convenient.
Yeah, but nobody else is going to look at it that way.
Well.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just not, like, people are lazy, bro. Like, they're not going to, like, they're going to be like, oh, we fixed, like, the coal problem, now we got nuclear, like, we're good now. Like, I don't know, maybe I just don't have a high opinion of people. But I don't see anybody, like, I feel like if you just switch to nuke, like, people are just going to get lazy and think that, like, the energy crisis has been solved.
Yeah. But, I mean, people are kind of lazy and skeptical about it right now anyhow. And frankly, let's be blunt, as far as carbon emissions are concerned, like, we're already pretty fucked.
Yeah. No, we totally are.
We are in the escalation portion of this particular system.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I thought... Like, I had, I guess, a cynical chuckle over the fact that there was a dramatic decrease after the pandemic started in carbon output. I mean, still not enough to influence, like, the direction we were heading in, maybe slow it down just a touch, but, man, I mean...
Yeah, the pandemic's been great for the environment.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's bad because it's like what do we do with these things though? That's kind of where I end up going ultimately with it. Yeah. The idea of avoiding dependency on it, and you're right. Like people ultimately, like people will end up taking it for granted. Like, oh, this is the new thing, right?
and take a look real quick.
Until they glow.
Yeah, until they glow. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely problematic, but it's like what?
I just don't see anything good coming from increasing nuclear power sources in the country. Personally, that's just me though.
Well, I don't know. It is something. It's something I've considered as being a possible way to handle some of this, because frankly, a nuclear power plant in a lot of ways seems a lot more reasonable to me than a nuclear weapon.
Oh, totally. It's definitely more reasonable. Don't get me wrong. It just seems like a really bad idea from the environment, because like when it goes wrong, it fucking goes wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget that nuclear power plants still produce waste. So like that we don't have any good way of handling. So I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's just not, that's not a really great idea. I think we should try to find a way to like dispose of it. Which I know is like not.
Which is effectively burying it.
Yeah. But like
Anyhow.
find a way to dispose of it that's not burying it in the mountain.
We make a giant nuclear powered rocket fire into sun.
Oof.
I'm not sure that would end well for us either. But I'm not one of the scientisty types, so if we shoot it into space, we're gonna hit the Vulcans. The Vulcans got, what the fuck year is it? We got like 40 years before the Vulcans are coming around, don't we? 63? Isn't it 2063? Good boy, you're the Trek geek. Is First Contact 2063? Oh, he's gonna Google it on his phone. He fails.
Bruh.
He fails
I'm
his
not
Trek.
that Trek.
You should.
I like ships better than dates, okay? I like starships.
If we shoot it all off now, I think we'll miss the Vulcans.
Oh, man.
We can,
Then again, Trek didn't have this problem because they had a nuclear war around nowish.
World
So,
War III.
yeah.
That's optimistic.
Well, that was sort of the gallows humor joke that we were making in a bunch of leftist Trek groups last year. It's like, well, if Trump starts World War III, at least we know we're on track for First Contact. I'm not really crazy with how this is turning out. I really like the transfer I got on this, and I'm actually, like, on this side. And I'm actually thinking that I could print it from the toner transfer. But I got a really shit transfer on this side, and I'm not liking it. So I'm tempted to do something else for a little bit. Like, work on another piece. Good boy, can you do me a favor? Yes is the correct answer. That's why his trail name is Good Boy, because he's a good boy that helps his mommy. Can you come take this stone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna set you down on the table for a second, friends. We all get ticketed for littering if we shoot it into space.
Really? I searched up what year was First Contact and it gave me the year that the movie was released.
See, you don't even know how to Google your Trek answers. Can you put this back on the wire rack, bud?
Good memory alpha.
Seriously, come here.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you touch it other than it's a little wet and you might not want to touch the wet.
Papa, I'm already looking it up.
Also, like, we don't have to be this distracted by Star Trek.
Oh, but we totally are.
Oh, my internet connection is unstable. That's sad. It's sad times.
Yeah, it's hanging a little bit.
The stream is, or like all of the internet is?
All of the internet.
All the internet, I think.
That's not good.
Well, I just made an infinite white room. Proud of me.
Did the stream cut? Oh yeah, it's
everything looks alright from the equipment end.
I don't know, Val, are you seeing me or am I getting spotty and cutting out? Are you hearing me? What?
We got lag, and we are back.
Okay. Well, it didn't, like, it just told me that my connection was unstable. It didn't tell me. Yep, she can hear us. Okay.
Cool. Video is unavailable. Let me try refreshing Twitch.
Yeah, it might have just been our internet connection was having a problem for a second. Like, that Twitch error tells me that it was probably our internet, which has been a little bit, pissy tonight.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to try doing another acetone transfer of something that I am more inclined to, like, not hate the idea of if it doesn't
April 5th,
transfer.
2063.
Is first contact day?
Yep.
Cool.
So, we have a little bit before, the Balkans come.
Yeah, we got time.
But, you know, just a little bit of time.
So let's see. The other one, I seem to get the best transfer when I was doing a controlled application and not just pouring acetone on the stone. Come on, cleavage cam, what are you doing? There we go. Like, it doesn't want to sit right. I don't even know what. I don't know how other people do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know any things. Now this is like in my fucking face. Oh my god.
Oh, Mama, I made an infinite weight limit.
So what else have we got in the news?
Oh, I'm going through.
In the politics?
Let's see.
What do you think about this dog inauguration?
Oh, God. I mean...
Like, is that a real thing, or is that just a stupid meme going around Facebook?
No, I think it is a real thing.
Like, they're gonna... How the fuck are you gonna swear in the dog?
What are you talking about?
Oh, man. Let me...
Mind y'all, I like dogs a lot. Like, my dog is my favorite child. Ask my human children, they'll tell you.
Yes, it's true. I have nothing to say about that. No comment.
But, like, why are we going to swear in the dog? How?
Inauguration.
How are we going to swear in the dog? What are the dog's official responsibilities?
White House's first rescue pup.
What?
President-elect Joe Biden isn't the only one with a big ceremony this month ahead of his family's move to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave. By the way, this is CBSNews.com.
Mm-hmm.
Biden's rescue dog, Major, is getting an inauguration of his own. The Bidens adopted Major, a German Shepherd, in November 2018 from the Delaware Humane Association in Wilmington. At the inauguration on January 20th, he will become the first rescue dog to take up residence in the White House, joined by the Biden's other dog, Champ. People reflecting on how dog is good dog.
Dog is good dog.
Okay. Ahead of the big move, Major's former home is hosting an inauguration for the pup on Zoom. So the rescue shelter that that Biden got the dog from is holding this Zoom inauguration.
That's a really good transfer.
Wow,
Wow, you can even see, like...
And it's also like a fundraiser for... PHA is calling it the world's largest virtual party for dogs, encouraging all dogs and their families to attend.
I don't think Titania would be down for that.
No, I think it would confuse her and...
I think it would anger her.
Potentially.
Whoever came up with inauguration should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, I mean, it's a
It's a fundraiser for the shelter.
Yeah.
I'm less mad about it now, actually.
Yeah,
I thought it was
shelter
some
for
pretentious shit that the Bidens were doing, but
that. No, I mean, it sounds like the shelter is putting it on. Is just a way to.
it'll
raise
probably do
money.
more for unity than the checks. I don't know, man. I'm not hating on stimulus right now. Like, we've been very lucky to not lose our income sources during all of this, but stimulus checks still help a lot when you've been living paycheck to paycheck for so long. When you have expensive child things
Hello.
and pancreases that don't want to function anymore.
I have both of those.
You are both of those.
Bruh. Look at this dude.
Oh man. So apparently Pamela friggin' Anderson is saying that Trump is debating pardoning Julian Assange.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man.
Why is he gonna pardon Julian Assange?
Oh man, let me see if I can get a good quote. Cause talking about Anderson, talking about Assange.
Why is Pamela Anderson in on this?
Who knows? I think the argument is that Trump is against fake news and WikiLeaks is anti-fake news.
Okay, then.
Oh man. Oh man, oh man.
Oh wait, Pamela Anderson Lee is like, and Julian Assange are a thing.
Apparently she is a big supporter of Julian Assange.
Oh. Well, no, Val said that
Several
she's
times.
his main squeeze, so. The only problem with this transferring so well is that, like, I fucked up this line here, and he didn't fix it when I took a picture and then printed the printout. And now you can, like, see the fuck up line even after I corrected it.
Oh man.
What?
Okay.
By the way,
So,
this, like,
I
him
found-
saying, like, oh man, like, exclaiming like that is, and me saying what, and then not getting an answer is, like, 99% of our marriage.
Wait. So, okay, Tear Gas Girl, which I think everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Elizabeth from Knoxville?
No, actually, maybe this is a different Tear Gas Girl.
Let me see.
Marianne Lurie.
Let me see. Is there a picture of her?
I don't know. No, just the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this tear gas girl.
So this Tear Gas Girl is... Okay, so I just want this quote to sit in everybody's mind. Quote, everyone is saying it was a terrorist attack, unquote. She told Time about a week after the riot. Quote, everyone thinks I'm a terrorist because I was at that event, unquote. I mean, I totally want to write this under, like, stupid games, stupid prizes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're still responsible for the choices you make.
What? Responsible for their own actions. Jason, they're rich. Why would you expect them to be responsible for their actions?
I don't think all these people are rich. Like, I don't think that...
Rich enough to fly in and out of DC.
True.
Rich enough to take a fucking random Wednesday off.
True. Oh, man. So first 100 days, that's something interesting. Like, everybody's speculating. Oh, yeah, and Assange is also Roger Stone buddy. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you for pointing that out, Val. But, yeah, so, first 100 days with Biden, though.
Yeah.
So, everybody's beginning to sort of speculate what they're gonna look like, because there were a whole lot of promises made.
Yeah.
whole lot of promises made, and I'm just curious, like, what we're actually gonna see out of it. What McConnell, based on whatever power sharing agreement he comes up with Schumer, whatever, what we're actually gonna get traction on. I mean, it's like...
I feel like probably not much. Like, McConnell's an obstructionist in his heart of hearts. All he wants to do is stop things from happening.
Well, starve the beast.
Yeah.
That's the Republican Party's mantra and has been for a long time. But, I mean, it'll be interesting, because there are definite ways that, like, Schumer could just say, no, we're gonna do this. But it's gonna take some of the cojones, you know? It's not gonna be, it's not gonna be as compromise heavy, because we already know what to expect. And the question is how much...
Do you think? I don't think Schumer and Pelosi have it in them.
I don't know.
Like, I think that...
Like, I don't know if they do either. But what I'm saying is that they're going to have to find it if anything is going to get done, if the 100 days...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think anything's going to get done. And I'm not even talking about the first 100 days, which also, like, as a random aside, is a fucking stupid thing to put on a president, like, oh, gotta do this in your first 100 days. That's like the people that are like, you gotta make your first $1 million by the time you're 25. Like, they think that life is over once you hit 30. Like, that's like the same vibe I get from like the whole fucking first 100 days thing. Anyway, I digress.
It's crazy.
People aren't good at delaying. People aren't good at delaying self-gratification. And I think that's what the whole push is. It's like, oh, well, new guy in office, made all these promises, like, get to it.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
No, and I get that too. But anyway, I don't think Pelosi and Schumer have it in them. Like, they're just too much on the, like, compromise, don't rock the boat train, I think. Like, I don't know. I don't like Pelosi or Schumer.
Val just counted Pelosi has more than Schumer, which,
maybe...
Yeah, I'm definitely maybe... I think that, I feel like the attack on the Capitol is also going to be a factor, too. Because, like, it's the direct end result of literally years of fucking around, you know?
Yeah.
The right wing media fucking around. Like, friggin' the Republicans fucking around. And it, like, that's the culmination of it, hopefully.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like. They're already trying to like business as usual and like like I don't know. I just feel like it didn't have. I don't think anything has a lasting impact anymore on fucking politicians, and I don't think that the Capitol siege, insurrection, riot, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is going to end up having a long-lasting effect. Like, I think these people are. I mean, look at what happened. Like that day, a bunch of them went back to objecting to the certification of the election into certain states' electors, and then like when they had metal detectors installed, a whole bunch of them just like skipped around the metal detectors or pushed the cops out of their way. Like, I don't think anything has a lasting effect on these people. Well, I think they're going to go back to feeling like they're safe and on top of the world.
Well, I think that part of it, like the metal detector thing, I mean, that was coming from the Republicans, because I think some of the Republicans feel like they are safe because it was, quote unquote, their people that tried to siege the Capitol.
Well, that and they carry, and they wanted to keep carrying.
Yeah, that too. But also, it's like, I mean, I feel like for a lot of them, I feel like every politician is driven by money, power, and self-interest. Period. Like, occasionally you'll get somebody a little bit more, like, a little bit more idealistic, but I kind of feel like that eventually gets pounded out of them as they're in the job longer. Fact of the matter is,
I don't know that major constant harassment's enough anymore. I feel like these fuckers just need to get, like, a new fucking job.
Well, I feel like the fact that, like, some of them could have died, or at least have been taken hostage, is enough to go and kick in the self-preservation instinct, you know? Something is gonna happen. I'm worried that we're gonna see, like, Son of the Patriot Act. Patriot Act Part 2, you know? Which
isn't really doing anything.
Well,
other than just cracking down on everyone.
Well, it's... I'm just, like, wondering what we're gonna get out of this, because it might not even be something that's super obvious at first, but something will be done. You know, I mean, the Republicans and Democrats have a very, very stable system of maintaining a status quo for power right now.
Yeah.
And that's become a little less stable following this. And the impulse is going to be to go and tie it back down again.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, though, like, they're just gonna, like you said, like, the Patriot Act Part 2, like, I think it's gonna come in the form of, like, some major civil liberties crackdowns, and, like, I'm not saying people should be having the right to go and, like, try to take over the Capitol and, you know, attempt to execute the vice president and a bunch of lawmakers, but I feel like, what did the Patriot Act really do for combating terrorism? It just made it harder to get a job and a bank account, and it created a no-fly list, and, like, it cracked down on civil liberties of law-abiding people, and aren't these the folks that are always, like... Isn't the whole argument about the Second Amendment is, like, if you haven't done anything wrong, you shouldn't be punished? But, like, that's what the Patriot Act does. Yeah. Does. And I feel like that's what any, like, new variation is gonna do.
Although, truth be told, with the no-fly list, frankly, like, especially with what happened after the Capitol riot, I mean,
I'm just saying, like, it didn't, like, how much terrorism did it stop? Because it's a reactionary thing. All of this stuff is reactionary, and you need to be, if you want to not have your fucking Capitol seized and fucking uneducated numbskulls trying to overturn the government because they don't understand how elections work.
Yeah.
If you want people to not be able to be easily swayed by a fucking Cheeto who they put on TV for some fucking reason constantly, then you need to be proactive in the areas of critical thinking skills and education not reactive in the stripping of civil liberties and like what are they going to try to abolish, like protesting, or like severely curtail the ability to protest? Because I could see that happening. Like you got to be proactive in educating your populace and instilling your populace with good critical thinking skills, and not reactive in stripping civil liberties because you had to hide under your desk for a few hours once.
Yeah.
They grounded nuns on the first round. I don't know what that... Oh, the first round of the Patriot Act? Is that what you mean? Like the no-fly list grounded nuns? Some nuns are scary, though. What? Tell me some nuns aren't, like, scary. Like, sometimes I'm glad I wasn't raised Catholic, because nuns don't fuck around, dude. You want to talk about fuck around and find out? Does anybody ever fuck around and find out with a nun? Because I would be too scared to.
It also looks like they froze some men's bank accounts too using the Patriot Act.
Well, they made it harder. I remember post-Patriot Act, I had to get a fucking background check run to work at, like, fucking Dunkin' Donuts or Burger King. Like, as a little, like, snot-nosed, like, 16 to 19-year-old. Like, why do you have to run a background check on me? Or, like, what, there was something bank account related, too. Like, you have to, like, show, like, your social security number to get a bank account now. Apparently you didn't have to. I don't know about that. I'm young enough that I did not have a bank account pre-Patriot Act, but my understanding is that you did not used to have to, like, provide a social security number or some shit to get a bank account.
Darn millennials.
Hey, the kid said I'm a Zoomer. I'm a Zoomer now.
You are an honorary Zoomer.
So yeah, this is really interesting about the toner transfer. I don't know if, I printed these fresh tonight, like right before we started streaming. So I don't know if the freshness of the toner affects it. I'm trying to remember what I did in college. Like, I just remember that I tried to do a toner transfer and it didn't really work. I also probably didn't etch properly because I didn't have anybody to teach me lithography in college. I had to teach myself. But, yeah, like, this toner is, like, I'm just lightly going over the top. I'm not even getting any litho crayon on the stone. I'm just adhering it to the toner and sort of reinforcing the toner, so. Getting a little bit on the stone, but I really like this toner transfer. I might try to just do a straight photo transfer to a stone. Anything else fun in the news today?
Oh, I'm just looking at an article, apparently, like, it's on NBCnews.com about China and organ harvesting.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah, China forcefully harvests organs from detainees, and, yeah.
Well, that's horrific.
Yeah. And that's per, International Tribunal.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yep.
Not entirely surprising from the land of forced abortions, but fucking terrifying nonetheless. Have you ever had any desire to go to China? This is random and really mostly unrelated.
Not really. mean, it'd be interesting, but I haven't had, like, any strong desire or whatever, you know?
Yeah. It's just curious. I think there's some aspects of China I'd like to go see. I kind of want to go to the parts of like China that get you in trouble for going to. Like, aren't you not supposed to go to Tibet? But I kind of want to go to Tibet. Also, fun art fact, you can go on top of Tusche with a litho crayon. As you can see, I'm sort of doing that right now to sort of blend this together a little bit better. I'm going in with a 3 right now.
So it looks like in Idaho,
Okay.
they senator introduced a constitutional amendment.
A Idahoan
Idaho
Constitution.
To put a prohibition on psychoactive drugs, including the marijuana. Which I think, in light of things like state budget deficits following COVID, is the stupidest goddamn thing in the world.
Wait. Do they not already have a prohibition on psychoactives, including the marijuana?
So the thing is, like, if it's made a constitutional amendment,
it'll be harder to remove.
Than
Gotcha.
And it's like,
Yeah, that is fucking stupid. Like,
yeah, it's like,
I don't even understand why people want marijuana to be illegal. Like, other than racism?
well, apparently Idaho doesn't even allow medical.
The fuck, Idaho? Idaho, what are you smoking? Not pot, and that might be your problem, dude.
Well,
like,
see,
for real.
And this is the thing. Like, this is why it's ultimately a regressive idea that's doomed to failure. Like, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Montana have all legalized recreational. Utah allows medical.
Yeah.
So, like, Idaho is completely surrounded by border states that have it legalized. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, okay, so banning pot hasn't stopped Idaho residents from buying it. An economic analysis released by Oregon last year showed marijuana sales along the Idaho border were up 420%, the statewide average. Yeah, because they're going to drive out to the border, they're going to pick some up, and then they're going to drive back. I mean, it's just like going to the reservation to pick up cigarettes so you don't have to pay taxes on them.
Or like what fucking New Yorkers do in Massachusetts and shit here. That's why Cuomo's finally getting with the program and legalizing it. Although, like, I'm fine with taxing it. I'm fine with that. Like, do what you gotta do. You tax cigarettes, like, you tax alcohol. People still consume them. It's really not gonna deter, like, the hardcore users at all, and it clearly doesn't stop people from picking up a habit because people do still start smoking every day and start drinking every day. But whatever, if you want to do your little taxes to try to balance your budget on the backs of vices, fine, you do that. What really pisses me off, though, is all these places that are starting to legalize it and the talk about a serious federal legalization. And, like, how many of these places free people that are in jail for nonviolent marijuana offenses? How many of these states that legalize it expunge the records of people that were convicted and put in jail for nonviolent marijuana offenses? Like, it's just a sort of a form of gentrification, like a really, really bad one that still leaves people's lives like horribly fucked up. Like, good luck getting, like, trying to get a good job. Like, it's not easy. We really have the deck stacked against convicted criminals. So why are we not expunging records? Like, why are we not freeing people currently serving sentences for nonviolent? Like, if they were doing other things and you just slapped pot on there to, like, put them in jail a little bit longer, that's a whole different conversation. But the people that are literally just in jail for selling pot, like, why? Why are we not doing something about this while we're legalizing it? That is fucked up, in my opinion. And that makes me really mad. And that's my only objection to Cuomo's legalization plan, is that he's all like, I'm not going to get the vaccine. I'm sorry. Boobs started shaking when I was trying to imitate Cuomo. I'm not getting the vaccine until everybody of color can get the vaccine. And what about the poor black people? What about the poor black people? But, like, bitch, what about the poor black people that you're fucking got in jail right now? Like, what about that? The people that are on state charges are within your ability to pardon or release once pot is legal again. Like, you don't really seem to care about the brown folks at that point. You just, when you want to call about the fucking vaccine and shit, you do.
Well, I mean, remember, we're the state of the Rockefeller laws. I mean, it's like...
Val says she thinks California is. I'm not sure. I would have to look into that. That would be good if they are. Like, everybody fucking should. That's kind of my point of my rant, is like, if you're going to legalize it, then you really need to release anybody that has a conviction for it. And same with anything. Same with psychedelics. Same with... what the fuck else did Oregon just legalize recently? Or decriminalize. They didn't really legalize it.
Well...
But, like, same deal. Anything that you legalize, you better let out the folks that are serving jail sentences for it.
Let's see. Oregon drug decriminalization. Okay, this is Oregon Live. This is from end of November. Starting February 1st, Oregon's new drug decriminalization measure takes effect. Now, this is from November. I don't know if anything's changed since then, but takes effect and the state becomes the first to remove criminal penalties for small amounts of street drugs.
Okay, so they didn't really legalize it. They just decriminalized
they
it.
decriminalized everything. The measure makes it a non-criminal violation similar to a traffic ticket to possess the following: 1 gram of heroin, or less than 1 gram of heroin, less than 1 gram or less than 5 pills of MDMA, less than 2 grams of meth, less than 40 units of LSD, which isn't that friggin' ambiguous, but okay. Less than 12 grams of psilocybin, less than 40 units of methadone, less than 40 pills of oxycodone, and less than 2 grams of cocaine.
Well, I think that the idea is, like, that LSD comes in various dosing formats, and that the idea is, like, with using units is to make it ambiguous so that, like, you know, if you're, like, got 40 drops that are a different concentration than 40 pills, but, like, you just wanted something stronger, it's still, like, 40 doses is still, could be considered, like, personal use.
Yeah.
So.
And, I mean, it's, like, overall, like, it's kind of, I don't know, like, especially considering effects can vary so much.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, an argument could be made for most of these, like...
Yeah, prisons are an economic crunch for rural New York, and that's a fucking problem in itself. Like, that's the whole other discussion we could be having here, is relating to the prison industrial complex and how, like, entire towns and counties' economies are tied into having their prisons full.
Yep.
Oops. All right, social media manager Jay.
Yep.
I think I am wrapping up here. I'm
We're
just
reaching the tail end.
yeah, I'm throwing some tone down, but I think I'm gonna clear that other stone and try to do a better photo transfer and etch those photos directly because I really liked where I had them at. And I think I'm pretty much done with this one. I just need to let it dry tonight so that I can etch it tomorrow. And we've been on for an hour and a half, and it's almost 9 o'clock, and my phone is really hot right now.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea
So-
for us to wrap up pretty quick here then.
I think we are going to wind it down for the night.
I've had a handful of good rants.
And isn't that the true, like, that's the real thing here, is if, like, the determining factor, if it was a good stream or not, is how many good rants did we get in?
Yeah.
If we got in a few good rants, then it was a good stream. So it's still a little wet, but I did slap some more tone in the hair there. So when it dries, it'll be a very light touche wash there, and it won't be quite as dark as like in the corner here, but it'll be a little bit separated a little bit from the face there. So I don't know. You got anything?
Just remember to follow on Twitch, follow on Facebook.
Go subscribe
whatever.
on YouTube, and then I can start streaming from YouTube too.
Yep. So, yeah.
That's what social media Jay says. I don't tell you to like or comment or subscribe because I don't tell you how to live your life.
Oh, I totally will, though.
That's his job to tell you how to live your life. But, all right. So, have fun. Be good. Wear a mask. Go art something. Black Lives Matter. And, yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Day after tomorrow, bitches. We're gonna be done. Good. Over him. Hopefully. Forever. Bye. Hit the end button. Hit the end button. Okay. It didn't hit it. It just, like, focused into the corner of my screen instead of hitting the end button.